Hey, Daryl here, and this is my daily devotional, the home edition. Don't you love the pink reading glasses? The only ones I could find this morning. So we're in chapter 6 and 7 of the book of 2 Kings. The city of Samaria is under siege by the Aram army. No one can come, no one can go. They're starving. In fact, yesterday we saw in chapter 6, there's cannibalism as two women eat one of their sons. Well, when we're under circumstances such as this, it's very tempting to blame God. And that's what the king of Israel does. He blames God. Now, one would think that if you blame God for the circumstance, you would go to God in repentance, knowing that He is the one that has the antidote, the solution to the circumstance. So they take it out on the prophet of God, Elisha. And the king of Israel says, I'm going to cut his head off. And so they go to Elisha. And Elisha says, oh, by this time tomorrow, this is all going to be behind us. By this time tomorrow, this circumstance will be resolved. So the king's servant, well, he scoffs at Elisha. And he will be the one who doesn't get to enjoy the solution. And you'll see that in a moment. Now, living on the outskirts of Samaria at the gate are 4 lepers. And these lepers are starving as well. They know they can't go into the city because of their leprosy. And so they decide, let's go to the Armenian camp and just surrender to them. And maybe they'll at least have mercy on our lives and feed us. And so they take off, going to the camp of the Aram army. Well, before they arrive, God allows them, the Aram army, to hear thunderous sounds of horses and chariots as if they were attacking them. It says here in chapter 7 of verse 8, the men who had leprosy reached the edge of the camp and entered one of the tents. They ate and drank and carried away silver, gold, clothes, and went off and hid them. They returned and entered another tent and took some things from it and hid them also. You see, when the Aram army heard the sound that God caused and the thunderous hoof prints and the chariots, they scattered. So when the 4 lepers arrived, their camp was empty. And they went in and they had a wonderful time of eating and drinking and taking the food and the gold and the silver. And then they had a moment of conscience. And here in verse 9 it says, they said to each other, we're not doing right. This is a day of good news, and we are keeping it to ourselves. If we wait until daylight, punishment will overtake us. Let us go at once and report this to the royal palace. They realized that they had great news. They couldn't even wait till morning to go tell the king of Israel. They needed to go right now in the dead of night. And that's what they did. Folks, when you got great news, you got to share it. Man, if somebody instantaneously had the solution, the antidote, the serum for coronavirus, then they'd be a fool to keep it to themselves. And that's why you see them trying to streamline all the red tape to try to get an antidote out there. Well, these guys had great news, like we have the good news of Jesus Christ. We can't keep it to ourselves. We got to get that good news out there. And so they went back. They told the king in the middle of the night. They woke him up. He was skeptical. He sent scouts out to make sure that everything was okay. And they literally were gone. The Aram army was gone. And they celebrated in the streets. And the food they were able to bring in from the camp of Aram. And the people literally stomped on, trampled on the king's servant who scoffed Elisha when he said, by this time tomorrow. So, that's what happened to the man who scoffed. When you got good news, share it. Not later. Now. God bless you. Good day.